Hey guys, E here from Virginia Grace Living. Today we're going to plant some garlic. We just actually picked some up from the grocery store and we're going to give it a shot and see how it goes. It should be some organic garlic. I'm going to go inside and show you guys how I'm going to separate it out and then we'll get to planting it. Alright, so like I said, actually ended up just buying some organic garlic from the grocery store. We're going to go ahead and separate these cloves out and get them planted. So they should do fine. We'll just see what happens. Kind of an experiment, but I've heard a lot of people say that they just go ahead and buy their garlic from the grocery store. We just separate the cloves out. Don't need to peel any paper off. You're gonna plant this end down right here. That's where your roots will come from, and then this end's gonna go up. So I'm gonna keep separating all these individual cloves out and then take them outside. Alright, I got the garlic all separated out and picked out the biggest cloves. I got about 45, 50 cloves in here actually, some really nice ones. They say to plant your biggest cloves. Don't really bother with planting the smaller ones. So each one of these should turn into a head of garlic. So like I said before, this end's going to be your root end, so it'll be planted down. With this end right here will come out as a sprout, which actually some of these already have some small sprouts on them. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and fill as many in as we can in this 4x4 raised bed, and then I'll plug in a few other ones wherever I can. I say it likes a good, like a loose soil, and this is pretty good, well-drained soil right here. Ton of earthworms in here. So let's go ahead and get started spacing these out, and then we'll get it in the ground. Alright, so I got them a little spaced out here. Gonna go ahead and plant these about 2 to 3 inches deep. So what they say is the best way to plant these is you want to have at least double the length of these. So you're gonna plant it and then plant it as least with the bottom being doubled its length. Make sure you drop it with the root side down. Just cover it up. So I'm just poking a hole about 3 inches deep. Drop the clove in. Cover it back up. And I'll do that all the way until all the garlic's planted.
Try.
Cover it up. Alright.
I'm gonna do all these.
You gonna do these with me?
Yeah.
Alright, I gotta poke another hole.
I'm gonna poke a hole in there.
Okay.
I made a bigger hole.
Alright, drop it in. Uh-oh, hold on. It's gotta go a certain way, sweetie. Just like that. Now cover it up. Alright, we're gonna get all these in, okay? Alright, they're all in the ground. Probably gonna give them a good watering real quick, and later on we're gonna probably cover them up with some mulch, just some straw or some loose mulch to help insulate them because they're gonna be in the ground all winter. So we plant them in the fall. Today's actually the day after Halloween. We're gonna get them in the ground today, and then they'll be in the ground for about 9-10 months, and probably harvest them around July time. So they go dormant, and then in the springtime you'll start to see the shoots come up, and then they'll start really taking off, and then yep, we'll be harvesting them in July whenever the leaves start to kind of turn brown and fall over, from what I understand. Give them some watering here and there, but from what I understand, they're pretty set them and forget them. So hopefully this works out well for us. If it does, we'll continue to grow the garlic and use what we grow this year and save some of the cloves and plant again for next year. So we planted about 50 cloves total. So that should be, you know, somewhere around 45 to 50 heads of garlic. And if we get that, that would be great because we use a lot of garlic here. Well, while we're outside, I'll go ahead and show you some of the other stuff that we've had planted and how it's doing right now, our fall garden stuff. So come this way, we've got our garden bed over here. And so we got our broccoli coming in right now. Got probably, I guess, 8 heads of broccoli that are starting to come in really nice. So you can kind of see it's still kind of small-ish, but should be ready to harvest here pretty soon. I don't know how big it's going to get, honestly. It might not get too much bigger. But then we have our red cabbage right here. So some collards, which you've cut these way back. They've already actually been harvested 2 times, so these are small compared to what they were before, but we should be able to eat these throughout the winter until we get maybe some hard snow or a prolonged freeze. But they're supposed to perform and grow even into the colder months that are below freezing, or not below freezing, well, around freezing, not sub-zero though. They should be able to grow, continue to grow, and be able to harvest them through the winter. And we got some cauliflower here. Those are starting to make some heads on them. Still growing a little small, but like I said, I've never grown them before, so I don't really know what to expect as far as how big they're gonna get. But yeah, that's our fall garden bed. Pumpkins are already pulled up. We have them over here. We ended up with about 10 pumpkins. We pulled them before they turned completely orange because all the vines were just going crazy and we were ready to get rid of them, but they should continue to turn orange out here. But oh, I just broke that off. But we ended up with some nice, good-sized pumpkins that we can save seeds from and maybe plant them a little earlier next year. And that's the whole thing about gardening, is you live and learn. You learn a little bit at a time and take notes and remember, you know, next year I need to plant this a little earlier or plant this a little later, what to plant together. We ended up planting some basil with the broccoli and stuff, and I think that may have helped keep some of the bugs off. I could be wrong, but we haven't had a ton of bug pressure on them, so I was reading somewhere that sometimes co-planting things like that can help, and even garlic you can co-plant with certain things. And yeah.
Subscribe this video and take a like. And get a thumbs up.